All right, welcome everybody to the Sunday weekly training. We got some great things that we're going to go through tonight. I just want to get everything kicked off immediately here and start going. We have about an hour that I'd like to cover some materials. If we get done quicker, then we'll be good. If not, then we might go a couple minutes over. But I feel like these these trainings are really good for new people. As we connect across the country, we have teams going in New York and down in Texas and down in Kansas City and Oklahoma. It gives them a chance to really plug into the team aspect of it. It gives us a chance to speak every week and train, and then use those trainings to build and to multiply through their teams. And so, everybody on this call is committed to Advocare from the business standpoint. So my goal with these calls is to train on some things that we've learned, some things that I think are extremely important. What has allowed us to get off this year to the best start we've had in Advocare in 3 years, and to keep the duplication process going, because that's the key part. That is is huge for people in Advocare, is to make everything duplicatable, make every training available, and everything that I'm going through here on these calls isn't anything that I've created. We might take things from here and from this training or that training and put it together, but we have some amazing people at Advocare, and so we're just really regurgitating the knowledge that has been placed in front of us through different trainings, leadership, all that in Advocare over the last 3.5 years, and we really want to share it in a way that every week we get to plug in and do something. One of the things I want to kick off tonight's call with is, I think what we've done this year since leadership school has really gotten people off, to know the importance of a good start. And when you're looking at the business part of Advocare, I heard a great analogy the other day that when I was reading a book that helped, bring this whole thing home. You look at Advocare and people, somebody gets around it, they have obviously great results on the 24-day challenge. They're excited to do something. On the business side, people are starting to ask them questions. And what we see a lot, and sometimes too many times, is they just slowly kind of start to dip their toe and they say, well, I'm going to give it, a couple weeks. I'm going to give it a month or two. I'll start sharing with people and we'll see if this thing works. And, unfortunately, can they have success? Absolutely with that. And they very well could get lucky. But for the majority of people, it's not going to work if that's the approach we take. So we've had some great conversations lately about a different approach. With anything we do, whether it's the 24-day challenge, just think about the 24-day challenge. If I'm a person that wants to get better results in health and nutrition, the 24-day challenge is 24 days. We're getting off to an amazing start on that nutrition plan. I'm getting things rocking the first 24 days, and I'm going to carry that going forward. I didn't slow. It wasn't a 24-month plan. It's 24 days. It's quickly getting an overhaul into your nutrition, adding the supplements on top of that, and things are moving quickly. And that's the same thing we need to do with our business, Navicare. It's like the analogy I heard is getting a plane off the ground. You think about it, we have a certain amount of runway the minute that pilot engages the throttle to get off the ground. And so I would challenge people to take that same approach in Advocare. Is we don't want to step on that run. We don't want to pull on that runway and give it 20%, hoping that we're going to get off the ground. Eventually, we're just going to run out of runway. 40% is the same thing. 60, 80%. It is 100% to get that plane off the ground. Now, just think about that runway. That runway is not a lot of, it's not a long distance. I don't know the exact length of it, but it's not like you're driving from Des Moines to Omaha, okay? It's a very short distance. We're going at an accelerated rate extremely quickly. And then once we get off the ground, then we can determine, where the height that we're going to travel to, and when we level off, and when we stay there for a while. And so that's the same thing in Advocare. You got to look at this business, and nobody's asking you to go for 12 months as fast as hard as you can go. No, there's not a leader in Advocare that would do that. But what I would like people to think about this is when they start to go for Advocare, whether it be going to advisor, or now they have advisor nailed down and they want to really start to drive this business towards getting a rookie bonus or silver and above, which we'll cover that tonight. But really, let's put that throttle on. Let's go 100% for a short period of time, whether it be 30 days, 60 days, whatever you feel like you can determine. And we give Advocare 100% of our time, our allocated time each week, whether that's 2 hours or 5 hours. We're going to go fast and we're going to be committed and we're going to get that plane off the ground. And that's, I think that's so critical is once we get it off the ground and we get some people on the 24-day challenge, we might have a great conversation with somebody that is looking for the business. And now we've got the business going, but it's, I'm giving you some advice. Do not take the approach of I'm just going to go 20% and hope that whatever goal you have put in front of Advocare that you're going to reach it. If you do, it's going to be, it might take years and years to get there. So, working with your sponsor and the people that you're using Advocare to help build your business, sit down and make a game plan, put out those goals. And that's what we're going to talk about next is, really we want to look at this as when we give maximum effort, what does that look like? Because the reality is too many people are looking at giving, just like we talked about, giving that minimum effort and hoping for maximum results. It's a formula that just never works. And so if we're going to give maximum effort in the time that we have, what do we got to do with that? And one of the best ways in Advocare that I know to do and we trained about was doing the daily disciplines. The reality is in Advocare you got to show up. And you are in charge of what you do every single day in this business. And so it is up to you. And that is a good and a bad thing too. You're in charge. And so nobody's telling you to build Advocare. You're the one that's doing it. So you got to self-motivate yourself to do it. And so the key part to doing that is showing up and doing the things that are necessary with Advocare to be able to get it off the ground and get it going. What drives that us showing up every day and doing those daily disciplines is our purpose. And so again, if I got 2 hours a week or 5 hours a week, what is motivating me to get into my business, to show up in my business every single day and put effort towards it? What is it? Is it debt? Is it, bringing the spouse home? Is it, you want more freedom? To do life on your terms? Do you want to dictate how your days go instead of somebody else doing that? Are you building your future, your fortune, your legacy, or are you doing that for somebody else? And so, or do you want to change the direction of your family forever? And that can all be done with Advocare, but what is the purpose behind it? Why are you doing this business? Because that's going to be what gets you fired up and is in your belly every single day. I look at it this way as when I'm not doing Advocare, somebody else is. And so, I've always operated on the fear of loss. If I'm not training in sports, who is? What's my competitor doing right now? What's the person, who is somebody going and talking to that next person that I want to build that business with and that I need to pick up the phone and call. So, develop that why. And one of the key things is if it doesn't motivate you, if it doesn't get you emotional, if it doesn't burn in your belly, then it's really not. It might not be your purpose. And the purpose is going to change. And it could be short term. It could be getting on a vacation. It could be long term of bringing somebody home. Whether you can accomplish that over 6 months, 12 months, or a year. But we've got to be able to do that. And excuse me, but we got to dial into that daily. So you don't want to take days off and weeks off in your business. It's just like taking days and weeks off in a gym, and all of a sudden you realize, hey, I've gotten pretty out of shape here, and it's getting harder and harder and harder for us to get everything plugged back in. So what we do for motivation around our house is we put up notes. We put up, reminders of what we want to accomplish, So on the fridge, there's things. There's our goals. We write them down where I can see them